Hey everybody, it is me, Sacred G, and today I am going to be reviewing A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, directed by Jack Scholder, and it stars Mark Patton, Kim Myers, Robert Reuser, and Clu Golger, and Robert Englund. So the film's about a teenage boy by the name of Jesse Walsh moves with his family into the home of the lone survivor from a series of attacks by dream-stalking monster Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund. Their Jesse is believed by nightmares and inexpectancy violent impulses. It turns out Freddy needs a host body to carry out his gruesome acts. Believe it or not, I actually really like this movie. No, let that sink in. I know. I didn't like the first one, but I didn't find the second one all that bad either. Alright, well, it's not that I didn't like the first one. I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed this one as well. I don't think the first one, obviously, was all this hype. Like, it was only hype, or it's only hype because it's only setting out to do something that we've seen done multitudes of times before in horror films, and I mean, Freddy's still unique for sure. I know that. Anywho, so I actually really did like this film, and thanks to Vincent Martin, which is a channel I highly recommend you should check out. He does something similar to what I do, except for he analyzes critics to see if their arguments holds up sometimes. Definitely worth a watch. But he sent me a thing basically saying that there were homosexual undertones in the movie. Like this movie needed it. Anyway, I didn't even notice them. I mean, not that I really even care that they were in there. Except for the gay bar scene that Jesse randomly walks into, which I will get into. I really liked the opening to this film. I actually enjoyed the fact that I couldn't even tell that was Robert Englund, to be honest, that was driving the bus. Because a bus comes and picks up Jesse, and he's the new kid, and sitting in the back, being all weird and shit, at least when it comes to new kid terms. And pretty much what happens is the bus starts to pick up speed, and, you know, the kids are like, oh, no, you're going too fast, this, that, the other thing, and then they go off into, like, this, you know, desert area, and they're kind of teetering on some really, you know, skinny rocks, and they could fall to a pit of lava, and there's no flat surface behind them. It's just fucking spiky rock right behind them. And one of the things, I really liked that opening. I thought it actually was pretty strong to keep me enticed with the film, and I actually had fun with the rest of the movie. Now, the movie wasn't objectively good. It really depends on how you felt about the movie, if you liked it or not. I also liked Jesse's performance, or no, actually, I didn't. I thought it was very underwhelming, to be honest. Of course, Robert Englund doing the best that he can, and I think all these actors tried what they could. And I just, honestly, oh god. So Jesse goes to school the next morning after he wakes up, and meets a friend. I don't even remember his friend's name, but they get in a fight, and they kind of start hanging out and starting to get to kind of relate to each other, or try to befriend, or not trying, but starting to befriend each other. And, I mean, if it's the scene I'm thinking of where he randomly got into this random-ass fight during a baseball game, that was one of the dumbest fucking fight scenes I think I've ever seen. Yeah, Ron Grady, I think his name was. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if that's the character I'm thinking of. Yeah, so his friend's name, or the person he befriends, is Ron Grady, and, you know, so on, continues and ensues, and he has these continuous dreams, and he finds out that Nancy Thompson, which is another element I liked, which was a throwback to the first film, that, you know, they moved into Nancy's house. And one of the scenes I just find funny is I think it was later on, they realized there were bars on the fucking window. I think it was Jesse who realizes it, Mr. Jesse Walsh, who realizes it. You know, and during Coach Snyder's stream, I believe that's his name. Let me go see really quick. Yeah, Coach Schneider. One of the most, oh my god, cringe, fucking weird deaths that didn't need to have happen in the movie. He gets his ass whipped. I know. And not only that, as I said in the first movie, the dream sequences, besides the very beginning of this one, sucked. The whole gay bar scene, I did not understand how he got there. I couldn't even tell if he was dreaming. It just did not transition into the dream world, in my opinion, that well, as I stated in the first movie. So, again, the dream sequences in this film are just I don't want to say piss poor. However, I don't think they were good. I just think that it needed work. I mean, it's very 80s, you can tell. So anywho, Freddy gets him or possesses him. He actually enters his body, and uses it to kind of do his killing and to get in touch with the real world. And of course, Kim Myers, Jesse's love interest, Lisa Weber, she actually had little to no purpose, and even being the love interest, because he ends up running off from her, which was apparently a homosexual undertone, which didn't make any fucking sense. Just to let you know, I don't care if the actor's gay or not. I don't care about homosexuality. It just, for the film, did not make sense. He just literally fucking walked and ran off. And so anyways, him and his buddy, Ron Grady, get into a fight because he's not sleeping well and he's having all these, these continuous dreams, and I don't think anybody's believing him. And Coach Snyder dies by getting fucking ass whipped, and it doesn't even show, he gets clawed by fucking Jesse, because it shows that Jesse had the claw and all that shit. And again, the practical effects weren't too bad. I really liked the body horror when Freddy was coming out of Jesse. I thought that was actually really neat and a different thing that I saw from the first film. And it's just genuine. It's very fucking cheesy. It's not like anything to write home about. And I thought it was a fucking fun movie. I mean, there's nothing really much I could talk about. I didn't hate this film. It didn't upset me. It didn't make me wish that I didn't waste my hour watching this. I literally watched this a few weeks ago at this point, but I'll rewatch it again if I got anything wrong. But it wasn't a horrible movie. Like, I would say if you like A Nightmare on Elm Street and you haven't seen the sequels, the second one's not too bad. And especially if you like slasher films, and yes, at the end of the movie it kind of falls apart with his fucking girlfriend or his love interest being fucking stupid as shit and then going after Freddy and, and all this stuff so they could put an end to the evil, which ends up not happening because he comes back in four other movies. And anywho, and the movie ends pretty much the same way. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I recommend it if you're a slasher fan. I also recommend it if you just want something to watch. I personally enjoyed this film. I don't want to call it a guilty pleasure. I enjoyed it. It's a dumb fucking horror movie that was made in the 80s. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I know this review wasn't that long. Actually, fuck that. We're not done. To be honest, I don't remember very much of the deaths. I don't think they were that cool. Besides the body horror I told you about, where Freddy kind of pushes his face against fucking Jesse's torso so he could just break through and crawl out through a mound of flesh and shit. And the other thing, too, Jesse left his girlfriend with a nice rockin' pair of tits just to stay the night at a buddy's house. I'm not joking because, well, there's actually more to it than that because, he was, like, Freddy's tongue or something that told him that Freddy was coming came out, like a weird tongue came out of his mouth, and he's like, yeah, he's gotta go. And so he goes and stays the night at Rod's, even though it doesn't make sense because they got into a fight. Like, I just don't understand that. I mean, what is the fucking point? Why on earth would you think that a friend you just told off in a very disrespectful way would ever let you stay the night? And especially if you're acting fucking weird. It doesn't make sense. It's like, you want to protect people. Why don't you go and sleep somewhere where there's no people around? Just dig yourself a hole or just lock yourself in the fucking basement. You know, bide them time so people could get the necessities they need to protect themselves from Freddy or whatever. That's just honestly what I thought. And honestly, that scene was just fucking stupid. And I just honestly thought the act of love was not interesting to get rid of Freddy. I just thought it was kind of weak, to be honest. I mean, I don't know how many other movies have done the same shit. Like, oh, an act of kindness prevents the evil. I don't know how many times we've seen something like that. But overall, I did enjoy it. And again, I highly recommend it. I mean, yeah, there's some stupid fucking elements in this film. I really don't understand why they put in homosexual undertones. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And again, thank you, Vincent, for that. I just find that actually funny as fuck, because I just don't think any of it was necessary. I mean, do we really need to know anything about a character like Coach Schneider, who gets his ass whipped by a towel, that he's gay? Like, I'm sorry, there wasn't even anything really there for us to get to know the Coach at all. And honestly, again, with the dream sequences, I had a hard time actually fucking believing that at that scene he was in a dream. Like, I couldn't tell. It just seemed like he just waltzed into some fucking gay bar and the Coach happens to fucking be there. You know? And I guess we could chalk up the bad dream world transitions to trying to trick you to think that this is actually happening. It's not in a dream. But however, it doesn't cut it for me. It's just a painfully obvious way of saying we don't have really a good budget to make these look like dreams. I mean, besides what they did show. However, again, I enjoyed the movie. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I would recommend checking this film out for yourselves. And you guys stay safe. And thank you for 40 subs. I am very grateful for that. We could just stay at 40 subs. I don't really give a fuck. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace the fuck out.